Sweet, man. So nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. You go by Otis.
I do.
Yeah. So tell the audience who you are.
So first name is Scott, last name is Otis, and most I go by Otis because there's way too many Scotts in the world. In fact, there's at one point when I was hanging out in Sharky's and stuff, there were about 4 of us or 5 of us hanging around, and all of a sudden someone yells Scott. All of us turn. I'm like, nope, not gonna happen again. So from then on, I always introduce myself as Otis, and most people call me that anyway. So
Yeah, cool. You're maybe my 15th, 16th interview, and I seem to be a little drum heavy. Maybe that's because I'm a drummer and I know a lot of drummers, but
it's not a bad thing.
yeah, it's not a bad.
Go with it, man. Go with it.
Yeah,
Stick with what
drummers lay it down, keep it together. So
the backbone of the group, man. I'm telling you,
that's right.
you're only as good as your drummer. So
This is very true. This is very true. So tell me, we got it. We're Scott Otis, but
yeah,
who are you? What do you do? What do you do in the music scene around here?
in the music scene around here. Okay, so I've been around for a while anyway. Took a little bit of a break from the Minneapolis music scene, moved to Tennessee for a little while, and then moved back.
I saw the Tennessee number. Let's stop there for a second. Where do you live in Tennessee?
Lived in a small town in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
Halfway between Memphis and Nashville.
Okay.
A little town called McKenzie. And I thought that at the time, oh, okay, so probably done with music at that point. Up to that point, I play guitar, play bass, all that stuff too. But as things happen, as you get to know people, you kind of network or whatever, and somebody found out that I play drums. And then from there, they said, well, I know a band that's looking for a drummer.
In McKenzie, Tennessee?
It was actually in the Camden area of Tennessee.
Okay.
And so we played all over West Tennessee. Is basically where I was, West Tennessee. And there was a band looking for a drummer. Didn't know anybody really. Went down, auditioned, and yeah, got the gig. Was with them for 8 years.
What's the name of that band?
Ellen Warren Band.
Okay.
And they're fantastic. They're still playing too.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Ellen's the kind of the band leader, the singer, guitar player.
Mm-hmm.
And then his wife Pam plays keyboards and stuff. So
nice,
fantastic vocalist, just phenomenal. I mean, she sings Stevie Nicks, sounds like Stevie Nicks.
Wow,
and she's amazing. The whole family is extremely talented. So was very honored and very happy to be with them, and had a great time. The 8 years I was with them. So.
Oh, I saw the Tennessee number, and the reason I asked is we actually just took family vacation to Sevierville.
Okay.
My parents live in Sevierville, so Pigeon Forge area.
Pigeon, okay, east side Tennessee. Okay.
Yeah. So we just did like that 14-hour drive out and 14-hour drive back.
Oh,
spent it. Yeah.
Done it too many times. I've driven from Tennessee back up here and everything. Of course, I lived down there. Came up here to visit family and friends and stuff. So, but then I missed it. I had to come back. And
what brought you back? So
honestly, I came back home here in 2017, and kind of laid low. I didn't really go out much. I was just doing the work thing and hanging out with my girlfriend and stuff, and we're just like chilling and everything. And I get a text one night, just out of the blue. One of my old bandmates, actually he's now my bass player for both of the bands that I'm in.
Okay.
And he texted me and said, "Hey man, were you at the Doghouse last night?" And no, I haven't been. I've never been to the Doghouse at that point. I said no, but he's like, "Oh, I saw you're back in town." I said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, we're looking for a drummer." Everybody's looking for a drummer. Like, unbelievable. Okay, fine. So I go and I go and try out for him, and got the gig and everything for a little while. As the Atomic Playboys, and David Rodriguez, really good guy, good singer, and did that for, I don't know, it was probably about 8 months or so or whatever. Well, in the meantime, so at that point, and there's Chris Morehouse, that's when he texted me, and he's the bass player for them, and then now he's the bass player for Menace, and he's also been the bass player for Old Voltage for quite a while, which are the 2 bands that I'm currently in.
Okay.
And which makes it so nice to have the same bass player for both bands. Just lock in both times, and it's like you don't even have to think about it.
Right.
It's just we know where we're at.
Right.
Perfect.
What kind of music is Old Voltage?
Oh, I'm sorry. AC/DC tribute band.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
I have heard of it, but
Okay.
yeah, haven't seen it yet. Obviously,
Okay.
so
No, yeah, come check it out. It's very cool.
yeah, I do love some AC/DC.
Very impressive.
I was singing with you guys in that one.
Uh, JJ Stokes. He's the singer for that band.
Okay, I don't know J.J. Stokes yet.
Yes.
Sounds like he needs to be on the podcast. Yeah.
He,
Don't know him yet.
you could reach out and maybe be able to hook you up somehow.
Okay.
And then we have, gosh, the guys in that band they're super talented as well. Menace, excellent musicians in that band also. So, um, so yeah.
Well, I've got a question for you. So
Yeah.
you talked about in Tennessee, you talked about some Stevie Nicks. And
Okay.
the one time that I saw you play, I saw you play Nightmare. So
Okay.
how do you go like how do you go from that range? Like what's been your path, and
Okay.
like where do you like to live as a drummer, and what do you really like to play? All that
I'm
stuff.
kind of like, classic rock, heavy metal, type stuff, honestly. And when I moved to Tennessee, my previous experiences were playing pretty much heavy metal, Pantera, Ozzy, all the, heavy stuff back in the day,
Mhm.
uh, White Zombie, Rob Zombie, things like that. And then when I moved to Tennessee and it was classic rock, I realized, and I always thought that classic rock, oh yeah, no problem, simple stuff, blah, 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 more on the floor type stuff. And no, it's not.
Mm.
I kind of, and then being a little younger at that point, I don't know, 30 something, whatever, 28. Um, I guess it was kind of a little eye opening because I hadn't played a ton of classic rock. I played a lot of oldies when I first started playing drums, and then pretty much went from that straight to like, Van Halen and all that stuff. And shoot, Van Halen, Led Zeppelin, that's a classic rock. But you get a lot of the like Poison and White Lion, all the glam stuff, hair metal stuff, right? And I grew up in the 80s, so played a lot of that stuff, drums, guitar,
Mm.
whatever. And so it was kind of playing the classic rock stuff was I found to be a little more tricky
Mm.
because there's a lot more feel. A few more, there's like nuances and stuff that really in heavy metal is basically just bash the hell
Hit
out of
it as hard
everything.
as you can. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's just a little bit different for me at that time.
Hmm.
So going from kind of the metal world to the classic rock world, and then of course coming back into what I'm doing now with AC/DC being kind of classic rock. And you'd think that AC/DC is easy on drums. So for the most part, yeah, but like I said, there's the nuance,
Mm.
there's the feel,
Mhm.
and all of that stuff that you really have to take into consideration, especially doing a tribute band. And so I try to kind of use what I learned when I was doing the classic rock stuff. It's like there's certain fills that you have to do.
Mhm.
Other ones, you can kind of get around it. You don't necessarily have to nail it perfect as far as the fills and stuff like that. You can kind of play around a little bit. But for the most part, you want to get the feel of the song for sure.
Mm.
And the meat and potatoes of the song. That's what you got to have. So
So
that's kind of,
what would you say is the toughest classic rock song maybe that you maybe at the time, probably not tough anymore as you learned it, but maybe at the time you were like, "Holy cow."
um, I guess one of the songs we played that I did get it. It took a little bit of time just because, the slow ride
Yeah.
was, the Foghat,
Yeah.
so was that one to me seemed like super simple, no problem. No,
From
no,
the outside.
yeah, from the outside in, it's
Mm.
like,
It's got a really long doesn't it have a really long, like, opening phrase where it's just drums
yeah,
and music going on.
yeah, because you got the
Got a
toms coming in,
beat and yeah.
in the beginning and stuff like that. So the timing of it, and then the timing at the end of it, of course, too.
Mm.
When you go into that, the faster part where kind of the tempos kind of rise and rise, rise to the very end,
Mm.
and struggle with that first few times we played it out, and then eventually it got a little smoother. So, but it was, yeah, I'd say that was probably one of the more uh, challenging ones that I can think of that come to mind right off the top of my head. So,
So you said that you're one of those multi-instrumentalists, you can play bass, you play guitar,
mhm.
like, why drums is kinda like where you always gravitate to, or have you played other instruments in other bands before?
Well, the Alan Warren band, I actually played 10 shows on guitar because our guitar player at the time had left the band. And Alan's son, Tyler, can play drums, and he can play drums, no problem. He plays everything. It's very, very good. I can tell you a story about that later. Anyway, so he played drums, and then I shifted to guitar. Alan knew I played guitar, and so we did that for 10 shows until we found another guitar player at that point. So I have done that. I haven't actually played in a band as the specific guitar player or bassist or anything.
Hmm.
So
So what do you do? Did you just play a lot of home, tinker around, that sort of thing? Or?
mainly, yeah, I
Okay.
try and rehearse, or I should say rehearse, practice and stuff. Just kind of try and keep the chops up a little bit. I haven't played much as of late. I've been really focusing more on the drums.
Sure.
Kind of had a few weeks off over the holidays and everything. Trying to tighten things up in the drum world.
Sure.
I haven't had time to really play guitar much lately.
So, how often are you playing shows these days?
Well, normally we're doing Menace is usually doing about 2 shows a month, 2 to 3 on, when we're on. So I don't know what happened to scheduling or anything like that. It just this last couple months has been a little slow. And it's not a big deal. It's, took a little break. That's fine.
Sure.
People probably need time off or whatever. I've looked at the calendar. But other than that, we're geared up for 26. We've got shows in the books. We got 2 this month already, that are coming up. So we got one on the 10th this weekend actually, and that'll be at the Thirsty Buffalo.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's Saturday, yeah?
It is, yeah.
The Thirsty Buffalo in Buffalo?
Yep.
Is that in Buffalo? Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
It used to be called something else, didn't it? Didn't they just
No,
the name of it?
nah.
Or it was there's a different bar out there. It's got a
Oh, that's
there's a
just
name.
right. I think that's the one that's just right off of 55.
Yeah, I
You're
think
coming down. There's one off to the right there if you're coming towards Buffalo from the cities, and I can't ever remember the name of that bar.
neither.
I've played there before too. In fact, I played there years ago. And that's, yeah, it was fun. But I like the Thirsty Buffalo. It's the crowd there is fantastic. Absolutely.
Is that right?
Oh yeah.
They're there to
Yeah.
party, huh?
Yeah. Menace draws really nicely there. So
That's
and everybody loves to have fun, and that's what we're about, and that's what we love to do. So that sounded weird. Anyway, that's so yeah, we have a good time.
cool. All right, so take me back to little Otis, tiny Otis. When did you get inspired to kind of get into this music thing, and why and how?
Oh man. So music has always been in my life. My dad played guitar. That's where I learned guitar from, was my dad. Unfortunately,
So you started out on guitar then?
yes, I did.
Pre drumsticks. You started-
Pre drumsticks, and I thought for sure I was going to be a guitar player at one point. That was going to be my thing, and I was just going to go out there and rock. And as it turned out, drummers are in more need than guitar players, it seems.
So many bass players I know were like, I used to be a guitar player, but everybody needed a bass player. So
And that's kind of how it happened with me as well.
is that right?
Yeah, I was just like, I moved down to the cities after a while. We'll get back to the other stuff, but anyway, so I moved down to the cities, and I thought, yeah, I'll be a guitar player. Back in the day, guitar players are a dime a dozen, and good guitar players are, yeah, they're sought after, so they're already working. And good luck competing with that, because there are some phenomenal musicians in this town.
Yeah.
And there were then, and there still are, and it's great to see that. I love seeing that. But as far as little baby Otis, like I said, my dad, he was a really huge influence on me as far as guitar playing. He taught me basic chords, chord structures, chord progressions, things like that. He was never really um, a lead player or anything like that. He just was rhythm in the pocket. That's what he did.
Hmm.
And so I learned that from him. And I guess the next question would probably be, how'd you get into drums? So
Go ahead.
I don't mean to take your job.
No, go right ahead.
So I'm probably about 13 at this point, and I've been playing guitar since I was 9. And so we're over at my dad's cousin's house, and we're all 3 playing guitar. And they're playing songs that I know at the time, like oldies songs, whatever, and we're playing some songs. Then they start going into like some really deep cuts of like stuff that I've never heard of. I've never heard my dad play these songs. He knew them. And my dad's cousin Clifford, he knew them. And I'm like, I can't even follow that. I don't know what world you're in.
Mm.
I'm like, all right. So I set the guitar down. I start milling around the basement a little bit, and I see there's this Gretsch drum on a stand with sticks on it. And I'm like, all right, let's check that out. So I wheel it over there and I start tapping the sticks on the rim like a hi-hat, and I'm just keeping a 4/4 beat. Just tapping away. Like, okay, cool. My dad took note of that.
Mm.
And so for my birthday, I come home and there's a Blue Sparkle starter drum set basically. But to me it was like, "Oh my gosh, this is like amazing. Now what do I do with it?" I didn't know anything. I had no idea what I was doing. Um, and it took me a solid month to be able to separate the right hand from the right foot,
Mm.
or to be able to put the right foot really in somewhere where I wanted it to be.
Mhm.
And it just kind of went from there. So self-taught on that.
Mhm.
Never had a lesson. I've watched so many drummers,
Mhm.
and that's kind of where I started. That's when I really started to lock in on what are these guys doing? What are the drummers doing? How are they playing? What are they, like, how does it look?
Mhm.
And just try and mimic that in a way.
Mm.
So that's pretty much how I got into that.
Very cool. I mean, that's a memory in my head too, right? That first day you sit down, you're trying to get everything to work, but not all hit it at the same time. You're trying to separate them and make it. And I've had many a kid come through, and one of my daughter's friends or my son's friends come. Oh, I want to play drums. They sit down on my drum set. They try to work that out for 5 minutes, and that's it. They're gone.
I
If you
can't.
have if you have that need to like work out that logic, I think you're meant to be a drummer, right? Because if you can get over that, how to separate that,
Yeah.
the sky opens up.
I just thought it was, yeah, and then exactly. And then having that feeling of like I had headphones on or I'd have just the stereo blasting in front of me and try and play a little lighter. But having that feeling of like, oh, I can do this because you get the hi hat right, you get the snare in there, and you feel like you're locking in. You kind of get that feeling of like I'm part of this now.
Mhm.
And it was kind of cool. I'm like, wow, I think I can do this. Eventually, It's- it took a while, but eventually I kind of picked up on it, and then just like I said, just watching other drummers, see what they're doing, how they play, and things like that, and it just all kind of clicked.
Do you remember the first song that you kinda, like, worked your way all the way through and you're like, "Holy shit, I've arrived. This like, I could play this now?"
Oh my gosh, that is kind of a blur, to be honest. Playing at a nice deep basement, so we're always trying to learn songs and that it just played really loud through the PA speakers that we had. Didn't have the headphone technology at the time to really, you know,
Right.
hear what I'm doing and play. At the same time, I always found that to be really odd, having headphones on and then playing, but, okay, is this what I sound like, or am I just hearing what being played in my headphones? Uh, so I opted for the open air, give me some speakers, I'm just gonna play with that as if I'm playing with a live band. And, so as far as that goes, there's just too many songs that I was actually probably trying to learn or learn through, so I don't
Mhm.
remember exactly which song it was that I learned from beginning to end that I could do, like, without having anybody there and just play it in my head and play it on the drums. There's probably a few of 'em, I'm sure. Um, like the older stuff, we used to do, like, Hang On Sloopy and things like that
Mm.
when I played with my dad and everything. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know which song particular, probably Rock and Roll, Led Zeppelin, and I already know that the tempo wasn't right when I started. I know what the count is now. I had no idea what it was then, but I know it now. Um, yep, yeah, going through that one, but I never really got the shuffle right. I just
Mm.
kinda played it rock style, kind of 4 on the floor and then added it. It's morphed over the years. It's a little closer now to what Bonham was doing,
Mhm.
but yeah, there's not many people that can actually play that song the way he played it.
He's a hard act to follow across the board.
Oh, yeah, for
They
sure.
they really set the bar pretty high for a lot of, up and coming drummers after that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. So what would you say is some of your early drum inspirations?
Well, Bonham, for sure. Probably Ringo Starr. I was really into the Beatles for a while. when I was younger and everything. Still like the Beatles, don't get me wrong. And then for a while, I actually thought Ringo was kind of an, under or overrated drummer. And then as of probably the last 10 years or so, and really listening to what he's doing and how he plays stuff, I've kind of come to appreciate more of what he did back in the day and how he played things.
Kind of back to that nuance stuff.
Exactly. Like the nuances and stuff, even though he never plays the same fill twice, which I can relate to that. There are certain fills that I do play in the covers that we play and everything that it's not going to be exactly what the album is. It's going to be probably something that I came up with, but I always experiment and try different things as well. As long as it fits the song.
Right.
As long as you're not overplaying, and then it should be fine.
Yeah.
But, coming up with your own stuff and putting your own color into it.
Sure.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, I mean, early influences definitely, like I said, Bonham, Ringo, Alex Van Halen. Probably not so much as you'd think drum wise is more like I listen to Van Halen as more guitar, obviously, since that's a guitar player, and I was always just mesmerized by what he could do. But thinking about it back then, it was like, great, Eddie's doing this, Alex is doing this behind him. I mean, there's the stuff that he does that I don't think there's really anybody that can do what he does.
Alex?
Yeah.
Cool. Like what? Like what put you on the spot here?
Ooh. Okay. Like Judgment Day, For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge is probably my favorite album of all the Van Halen albums. Yes, I'm a Hagar fan. Sorry. Too bad. Deal. Don't get me wrong. I like Diamond Dave as well. I like Van Hagar. I like Van Roth. It's whatever. Everybody has their own opinion. I'm not trying to be Switzerland here, but I side more with Hagar than I do Roth. Nothing against the Roth fans. You guys. So, anyway, probably get some hate on that one.
There's gonna be comments all up and down YouTube on this one.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
that's okay. I'll take it.
I gotta create a little drama.
It's okay.
I like it.
Like I said, hey, everybody has their own opinion. It's perfectly fine. But like stuff like off of the For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge album, a lot of the stuff that he did in there was just how, like I said, like Judgment Day. What was the other one? What was it called? Pleasure Dome. He's got the drums in the background, just dun 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 dun. It's just crazy stuff. And I did see them live.
Did you?
Yeah,
Wow.
on the Balance tour.
Nice.
And also For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. Amazing.
Yeah.
Just watching the whole thing. Everybody was just on fire that night too. So it's great. But no, loved a lot of what he does. It's just so intricate. Like there's so many different things that he does. There isn't really one thing that for me, that just stands out. The fact that if you're watching any of the drum solos or anything like that, you can just see his left foot just constantly going with the beat. And I've always tried to do that. And as far as like keep the beat with the left foot as well, whether I'm actually working the hi-hat or just tapping my heel with the hi-hat. Kind of helps you stay in rhythm as well, especially during fills and stuff like that. If you're not paying attention. So, but yeah.
Very cool. All right, so tell me a story of you in bands doing stuff here in Minnesota, just like some cool things that you've done. Tell me about your journey.
Oh, cool things that I've done. I've played with some really, like I said, I've played with some awesome musicians. Most recently has played with the Tough Customers for about 3 years. Up at Serum's, the Thursday Jam.
Really? You were the drummer there for
I was for a while, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That was a jam that I went to, I think maybe twice total.
Okay.
You must have been the drummer at least one of those 2 times.
Might have been.
The last time was almost at the end when they finished all that stuff, and I don't think it definitely was not you there. It was a younger kid.
Oh, okay.
Double bass kid or something like that up there. So I think he was just filling in, and that was like almost about the point that they fell apart up there and stuff doing it. So
yeah, I'd actually, yeah. But all those guys are really good guys. Krister, and everybody bomber, and yeah, awesome,
Yeah.
awesome dude
Solid guitar player, man.
for sure.
Holy cow.
I was with him in another band, Kane's Alibi, years ago, for a little while. It was probably about a year or so, 8 months to a year, something like that. I think I was with him and enjoyed the heck out of it. And it's like I was probably in over my head at that point in my drum playing, to be honest. I mean, those guys were next level. And Chris Morehouse again was also in that band with me. So I've been in 3 bands with him so far. And it's like
Nice.
just have that like we've had that connection. So
Nice.
which is fantastic.
It's great to find a great bass player that you just like don't even have to talk to each other. You just the groove is just there.
Yeah,
Pop
pretty
is
much.
there. You know where each
Yeah.
other are. Yeah.
He just comes over, looks at me like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't know. We're just chilling, man. What's going on?" While we're playing a song, he just smile at me and like, we're good, man. We're good." Um, no, it was a lot of fun. Let's see, journey wise. Okay, so it starts out with in a band called Rig, as far as the music scene goes in that band, and then from there, filled in. Was it probably 2, 3 shows I think with a band called Jerk. This is a long time ago. Down at the North Star Bar in Rochester, and I was with Happy, Mike Schneider, and then Russ Lund, bass player at the time. So just
Mm.
a 3-piece
Mm.
at the time, and they were doing the Jerk jams at Sharky's. But they needed a drummer that night. Danny couldn't make it for whatever reason, and so yeah, I went down there, filled in for the weekend, and had a great time. Those guys are fun. Other cool stuff, gosh, I guess one of the cooler things that we've done recently, I would say, is like festivals. I hadn't played many festivals previous to coming back to Minnesota. I think we played one with Alan Warren Band, but we did. So we did Midsummer Music Festival 2 years in a row.
Hmm.
Menace,
Nice.
that, and
Actually trying to get those guys in here for a podcast.
who's that?
The organizer. I got
Okay.
in touch with somebody, a stage manager or whatever, trying to get them in,
Okay,
come in for that. So yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Great guys. They really run a really good festival.
Is that right?
Honestly, it's
Nice.
a lot of fun. We played last year. Was I went for the whole weekend actually last year. The first year I just went for the one day. Had other things going on, couldn't do it. I made sure to this last year though. I definitely was going to go up there for the whole thing. Saw Queensryche, Seven Dust, a couple other bands I never heard of before, but I'll definitely keep watching them. Black Tom Mojo. Who knew? If you haven't heard of them, look them up.
I haven't heard of them.
Oh my god, they're good.
That's cool.
Kind of southern rocky kind of vibe, but like just really solid
Nice.
guys. And so they're really good. And then what else did I say? It's a whole bunch of other bands too, but those are the ones that stick out in my mind the most. Just a fun weekend.
Yeah.
And then that Saturday we end up playing. We opened the main stage at 4 o'clock. So we opened up the main stage, and this year was better than last year, just because the previous year, we kind of got screwed over stage wise as far as stage space. We got 5 people on stage at a time. We have 6 people in the band. We have 2 singers, and I had no room. I barely had room to set my kit up. Set my kit up in between 2 drum sets here and here, but kind of in the middle. The bass player, Chris, was like way over off to my right, like around the trussing and of course he had to sing a song at one point, so he had to walk around a couple other things, the drum set and everything. So we kind of got screwed as far as space. Look, I'm not really complaining much. I know kind of where or who, what band kind of created that space. I'm not naming any names because I like them. Nothing but respect. But leave a little space for the openers. That's all I asked. Just a little space for the openers. That'd be great. So we get through that, and that was, like I said, that was a really fun weekend. The following year we played there, had a great time. We, again, opened up the main stage. And the cool thing about when you open up the main stage at the Midsummer is you're going to open that, but you're going to close the second stage. So you get to play twice in one day.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's fantastic. I love the setup. I love how they do that. It was a great time. All the stagehands are everybody on stage is super helpful. Um, they're pros. They know what they're doing.
nice.
So, uh, so definitely. And like I said, this last year we played, and so we opened, and then it was Eva Under Fire. Again, another great band. Check them out. Um, and then I forget who was that. Oh, I know I didn't remember who was after them because I was moving all my drums to the second stage area, so I didn't get to see the band after them. Somewhere I have a picture of the lineup. Oh, it's in my phone, which is out there. Anyway, um, let's see what else did. I mean, the festivals definitely are one of those things. It's just a lot of fun. Yeah, you get there. Yeah, it's a little bit of work, and you get up there and you do your thing. And it's kind of a little short thing, but then you're hanging out the rest of the time,
Right, right.
or you're hanging out before you play or whatever, and that type of thing. So it's
How many songs set was it?
oh, what was that one? I think it was supposed to be 45 minutes. I think we had to cut a little short because of technical difficulty
Mm,
somewhere. Not a big deal.
right.
Whatever, we'll take it.
Happens.
We'll take it. Yeah, no, we totally understood. We're like, hey, no big deal. Just give us the green light when you're ready, and we'll go.
Yeah,
And so to keep everything flowing throughout the day,
for sure.
I think we played what 40 minutes, maybe 35, whatever. It was cut a little short, but it's fine. We got the point across. We like to play.
Cool.
So
How was the crowd there?
crowd was good.
Thousands of people?
Well, not right away, but yes. You know how the opener
Not
goes.
necessarily for the opener.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, I think we had more of this last year than we did the first one that we played.
cool.
So that's always good, we're
Yeah,
drawing more people in,
people
actually.
people know the name and are willing to come back and watch you again, so
Yeah, yeah, and we had a really full tent on the second stage, which is always great when you have that many people out there and they're just rocking out to what you're doing. They're giving back what you're putting
yeah.
out to them. So it was a lot of fun. It was a great time.
It is a uniquely difficult thing, right, as a musician when you're in a bar and you've really worked very hard and you got a really nice set and you play it very well, you know what you're doing, you got a good stage show, but there's 3 people in the crowd. It's like it's really difficult to kinda get that energy coming back in no matter how hard you put it out there.
It is. It can be, and, I've done it,
Yeah.
and, you try and play if you're playing to whether you're playing to one person or whether you're playing to 1,000 people,
You try to put on the
you
same
try and
show.
yeah, you
Yeah,
try and give them as much as you can.
yeah,
Like, you give them 110, 120%. At lea give them the same show as if it was gonna be, like I said, 1,000 people,
yeah.
and, been there, done that. I think a lot of people have done that, for sure.
But
Out
it is nice to arrive, and
Yep.
see, "Oh, wow, okay, there's some people out there.
Mhm.
This could be fun."
For sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
nice.
So, yeah, it's fantastic. I love playing shows to anybody. I don't care how many people there are.
So what kind of music did your dad listen to? What were you inspired by on his speakers as you were growing up?
Um, he listened to a lot, I would say his his musical tastes were kind of a pretty broad
Okay.
range. Everything from, like, 50s, 60s, type stuff, the oldies, rock, things like that, to, country, like old country western, Hank
Mm,
Williams Sr., all the way up to, Garth Brooks or something like that, like, more to be more modern. I know he liked a lot of the he knew it was he unfortunately, he passed away, 2024, so, but he didn't really care for a lot of the new country
mm,
that was coming out. He said, "It's too rock."
mm.
I don't know, it's country, it's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I'm
Mhm.
not a huge fan of country myself, but, it's okay. Um, Not so much '70s. Like, he never really got into, like, you know,
Like the Led Zeppelin-ish era?
like the Led Zeppelin, the Foghat type stuff for Free or anything like that. He never really got into all that, kinda the more rock side of things.
Mm,
He really liked the Mamas and the Papas, and he liked good vocals.
mm,
He really loved good vocals.
mm,
Karen Carpenter was one of his favorite vocalists. Her and Olivia Newton-John, and, I'm trying to think of who else that he really liked, but yeah, that's kinda what he was like I said, very wide range of, musical taste.
Well, it sounds like you've got a pretty wide range of musical, interests as well, but, like, where were you when you decided you really loved heavy metal? Like, what did you hear, or where were you, or what were you doing at the time?
I would say that it all started with it honestly started with Van Halen, 1984.
Okay.
That's really where it was like that's where it started.
Like, what was the song? You remember the song? You remember where you were? You remember kinda
Oh,
like that story?
the opener, the opening keyboards, for whatever reason, the ethereal, sound that it had, and then it goes oh, what does it go into after that now? I'm trying to remember. It goes into Jump.
Hmm.
I know it was a keyboard, but it's still it was the beat, just the vibe of the song, listening to it on whatever stereo I happened to be listening to it on, it sounded like it was all around me,
Mhm.
especially the keyboard part at the beginning, and
Yeah, that is a big, kind of full vibrating keyboard.
absolutely.
Yeah.
What was that Jupiter, whatever it was he was playing, but, no, just grabbed my attention.
Blew your mind.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like, "What is this?" And I listened to that over and over and over, and then finally got the jump. And once it gets to that part and it just like, "Okay, this is cool." It's just a fun, like, come on and jump, and like, "Yeah, let's do that. Have a great time." And that's pretty much what kinda grabbed me there. From there, it went to, um, kinda the hair metal kinda thing, like Poison and stuff, but then Ozzy entered my life, and then it was like, "I'm done." I focused on that, like, the tribute album, uh, just unbelievable. And I was more into the live album than I was, like, the recorded stuff, like Diary of a Madman
Is that right?
and stuff like that, so
Why is that?
I think it's more the sound.
Okay.
I think I'm drawn more to a live sound. I like to hear what people are playing.
Mm.
In the studio, and don't get me wrong, I love studio, I love listening to records, love listening to albums and stuff, but the live thing is where it's like, you know, I don't care if it doesn't have to sound exactly like the album. What are you doing to interpret what you recorded?
Mhm.
It may not be perfect, it may not be exact, and it doesn't matter. It's, what are you feeling at the moment playing it live?
Mm.
And that's kind of where I was like, that's why I think I was kind of drawn to that because there's certain nuances and things in it that's like, that's different than what I heard on this,
Mm.
but that sounds cooler. Like, why didn't you do that in the studio? That'd have been awesome, but no, you did it live. Well, there's a whole like evolution of songs,
Mm.
it's like, then it happens to me too when I play songs live. It's like there's an evolution to what it is.
I remember you said that earlier, and that's is I think there's different camps of people out there, right? There's some people that feel like you have to play every note as per the record.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You have to nail every fill exactly the way that it was played, and then you have others that are like, okay, I mean, there's maybe some big pieces you got to hit, but other than that, just have some fun. Stay
Yeah.
in the space, make sure the song sounds like the song. But yeah.
Yeah, pretty much, and there's nothing wrong with people that want to play things note for note. I have
Mhm.
no issue with that whatsoever. I don't have an opinion one way or the other. One works for somebody, one is like, I don't know if I could necessarily nail that and hit the nuances,
Mhm.
but I know that I can do this, and it's gonna sound close,
Mhm.
but it's my interpretation of that. So there's a little bit of artistic license that I take when I play.
And I wonder if that wasn't inspired by the fact that you like kind of that live experience, and when you're listening to albums, you like when the drummer takes it slightly differently than maybe it was on the album, and
Yeah.
you hear them kinda say, "Okay, well, I've got some space to play with this thing. I'm gonna instead of doing a 4-bar keyboard solo, I'm gonna do a 16-bar keyboard solo and just kinda expand it out and have some fun with this." Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
for
kinda
sure.
neat.
I love seeing that stuff too. It's like, you did an extended solo on something that was like, "Oh, that'd have been really cool there," but I understand why you wouldn't do it there because then it wouldn't be played on the radio. But,
Right.
but it sounds great live, and that's kinda what I like to see the differences in a performance, from what I've already listened to live or already listened to on the album. It's like, I already know that.
Mhm.
Like, I've listened to that.
Mhm.
Can you make it a little different or better even
Mhm.
than what you recorded? And a lot of times, yeah, they do. They make it better. So, um,
Very cool, man. Very
absolutely.
cool. Well, I
Great.
appreciate you coming.
Yeah.
Uh,
Thanks for
Otis,
having me.
I like to wrap every single one of these up.
All right.
You have to nominate the next person that I'm gonna bring on this show. Who would you nominate that's gonna be a great guest for the Minnesota Music Note?
Mm. I've got three.
Bring them.
Two of them are bandmates. One is Jason Frugia.
Okay.
He's the original. He's the OG member of Menace.
Okay.
He's the only original member of Menace at this point. And then Danny Lee Jorgensen,
Okay.
guitar player for AC/DC, for Old Voltage.
I know him.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen him play quite a few times. He's
Oh, yeah.
quite the stage personality.
Yes, very much so. And I know he's in multiple bands as well.
Yes, he is.
Phenomenal, very busy, I don't know how he does it. I still am trying to figure out what are you doing? Whatever you're on, I want 3, but maybe not. I'm old. And then I'd probably say the third nominee would be Christer Peel.
Okay.
I think he would be a fun interview.
Nice.
I really do.
Cool.
All 3 of them would be fun, obviously, and it's
Cool.
so.
Well, I'll drop your name in the message when I chat with them, and we'll see what happens. Maybe they'll come on the show. So this
Yeah.
has been awesome, man. Thanks for
Fantastic. Thanks for having me, Will.
rocking out with me.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Time.